Hi world. It's been a while since my last little vlog post, and clearly it's been a challenge motivating myself to do it, but here we are for the next thing. I had recorded a video a little while ago, but didn't end up posting it because my night turned out to be less than spectacular. And it kind of relates to what I want to talk about today, is why I'm bringing it up. So I have decided to sort of like work on a theme today. And I'm gonna like doodle all over my notes while I speak, because that's a good little crutch for me as the visual and the physical thing rather than the vocal stuff. Anyway, I want to talk about the concept of being alone. Not like, oh, hashtag forever alone, but being comfortable being solo in different spaces. The event I went to, like 6 weeks ago or something, was a fetish event. There was, various costumes and like rope bondage performances, sort of kinky art, a dungeon space, stuff like that. And I went by myself, knowing that some acquaintances of mine were going to be there. But I ended up being there well before them and sort of having to be alone in this space. And by the time they got there, I ended up already being in this very like socially anxious mindset, and I was feeling emotional and down. And although they were very pleasant and welcoming, and the organizers of these events seemed to be phenomenal people, I just felt so awkward and uncomfortable, and like I'm tearing up a little bit just like remembering those feelings right now. That I had to leave. I had to bail really early. I ended up talking with my therapist about it, and it's a lot of like societal bullshit and like, learning to embrace my awkwardness, which is also what these videos are about. But yeah, my therapist made this point. We were talking that, I've got these sort of social hang-ups about being in kinky spaces that are ingrained in society, because when I do something like I did this past weekend where I go to a bar and I'm by myself and just waiting to run into friends. Okay, sorry, my phone cut me off because iPhone formatting is annoying and I had too many photos on my phone. Anyway, like I was saying, this weekend I met friends at a bar, and sitting there drinking and waiting by myself, still felt awkward, but it was like a level of awkward that I could handle. So that's just a thing that I'm working on, and understanding that I'm going to be different levels of awkward in different situations when I'm by myself, and just sort of embracing that and accepting myself in that way, I guess. Because it's funny, because there are certain social spaces that I can be comfortable waiting for people. I can be comfortable, I can be comfortable being on my own. Like I'm at home alone in my apartment, and I've been, enjoying my afternoon, just sort of getting some stuff done. I mean, mostly having a nap because I worked an early shift this morning. But yeah, then there are moments when I'm not okay with that, and I sort of have to learn that balance again, if I ever knew it at all. But I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about this sort of concept of being comfortable being alone. And I realized that one of the ways that I am surprisingly comfortable is being alone and being like a single person. I do have someone I refer to as my partner, who I hope to continue working on things with and building a life together, but we are in different places physically and probably emotionally. So that's sort of more of a long-term goal. And frankly, his communication skills aren't always amazing. If someone were to ask me who hadn't been updated about things in my life lately, I probably would tell them that, he continues to have his habit of coming and going, but he is still very much a part of my life. And there are some people in my life who, out of, their caring attitudes, see that as a problem. And there are times when, I wish he were around more, that he were a little bit more able to support me. But recently I realized that someone very important to me appears to no longer want me in her life. And although I didn't have him here to support me, and I haven't talked about it with him yet, I had a group of other people near me. Some of them friends, some of them friends with other tendencies, sort of casual partners in the sort of poly realm, who were here for me and who I could, take some time and feel some love and have a good cuddle and just reboot with. And I think that's one of the things that has, I don't know, it's one of the things that works. And I like it a lot. It's really functional, and it's not traditional by any means. Although in some ways I think it really is very traditional to seek out friends when, or to seek out love in other places when sometimes, romantic partners aren't necessarily the ones you want to go to with it, or who aren't, there for you. And yes, of course, I still want to share these things with him, but I also understand that we're in different spaces and that we have stuff going on and that life is complicated, and I don't know what he's dealing with right now. So I reach out to my network to support me when I need it. And when he needs support himself, he will reach out to the people he needs. And all I can do is be there to be one of them for him. The poly thing works for precisely this reason for us, in that I have and need a larger emotional network. I just need to say that out loud. I think there is a balance to be had in being alone and being with people, and knowing when you need both, and being okay with having both. I don't know if any of this is making any sense, or if I've just gone off on a tangent. But I think it's just important that I'm vocalizing these things rather than just scribbling them down, keeping them to myself. So, I'm going to find my other notes and figure out what the next theme I'm going to chat about is. I had another idea, but that's it for now. Anyway, I hope that whoever's watching and whoever cares is well and enjoying what's left of summer as we enter into fall, and that you all are finding the right balance of spending time with yourself and spending time with the people you care about.